called freestyle.
The dance your dad talked about.
I think I know what he's talking about. It's just a lot of hip movement. That was like the whole thing with like my dad like becoming a dancer. Like, well, I don't approve of that, so you can't live here. Blah 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 blah. And so like we came to that agreement, but I'm gonna need more time. I like finally realized. Um, and like I was like contemplating this past week, do I go like do corporate stuff in order to appease my dad so I can like move out but just like be done with that like energy, or do I just, so I'm like finally like realizing, okay, my energy was drained because I was leaning towards like the wrong state of mind and like the fear mindset and not aligned, working through trauma.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah, it's been a lot. And yeah, just tired. Sick and tired of like being tired and like unclear but clear at the same time. Um and just like needing like some like, I don't know. I don't know. I had like that whole shuffle experience, and I think that was like closing of a chapter of like manifestation of like, now I'm like, oh, you're like kind of lost. So
Mm.
just like all that stuff. I don't know. I'm just like very all over the place, but like sometimes I find my stillness and can realign. So I guess I'm just like, I don't know, I have Bambi legs or something. I don't know what's happening. Any advice would be wonderful.
Well, it sounds like you're clearing for sure. Which, by the way, is a very valuable thing to be doing, because if you don't clear it now, it will follow you for the next 20 years, which is what happens to people that maybe they do have a corporate job, maybe they make 6, 7, 8 figures a year, but they still have to deal with all of that trauma. So I would honor where you're at, and it's going to be like a little challenging from what I can tell, but letting yourself not judge yourself based on the outcome, but rather just realizing that this is a process and you are clearing a lot. This is like so important. This is like where the real work is, you know? And especially because you are going to pursue this as your full-time thing. See how I'm planting that for you? It's good to clear it as much as possible now, because otherwise it will just be under the surface. So you're still working. You're just working on the energetics behind your business. That is just as important as making hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? At this moment in your life. So it's literally just shifting. We're never actually going backwards. And that's kind of like something our ego likes to tell us to keep us in like a state. But no, I mean, the amount of stuff that you've done in the last couple of months is crazy. And also, I think as opposed to like putting so much pressure on yourself about event season ending, just having gratitude and acknowledging like what you got out of working at the golf course, because now if you do look for other part-time income, you will be able to find something that's like really aligned because you know exactly what you need to get out of it. That will be good.
That's true. And then this is the last thing I've been clearing because I talked to my cousin over the weekend, and I was like, I came to the realization that my family is just like mean. They're not kind. So it's like really hard being nice.
Yeah.
And them just like being so like mean is
Mhm.
like tough because they don't like see kindness as like a value, I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, spirit placed you in the spiritual community for a
Yeah,
reason. You
true.
know, I mean,
Yeah.
you have a really like beautiful community of people who do see you, and that's going to be 10,000 times more important than people who see you for some kind of robot or whatever they want you to be. And they do it because they think that they know best, but they don't, honestly. So that's fine. Just knowing in your heart and soul that you follow your intuition and you know, I mean, kindness is a currency too. It's an energy. So,
Yeah, it's true because they control out of their fear and lack mentality.
right. Yeah, and you know what? You're going to be the greatest lesson for them. Just
Yeah,
wait.
true.
Just wait. I mean, it's funny because their soul chose you and you chose them, and you're not going to play by the rules. And that's what they need to learn through watching you. And they might not like it. People don't like what makes them uncomfortable, ever.
Yeah, especially if they're used to one thing is like at their age. And it's interesting because I've felt my grandma Kuka around me lately, and she was like a pure angel. And I'm
Mm,
like, how can my dad come from like such a pure, kind person and like recognize it in her?
mhm.
But like, can't even, I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, I feel her presence a lot.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, yeah, you are so supported. And the hardest thing about this journey sometimes the support is very much so energetic and in spirit, right?
Yeah, it
More
really
than it
is.
feels to be like, oh, my family. Like it really is different, but you can feel it and you feel it for a reason. And the one thing that my guru said to me, which really helped me at the time, was he was like, your dad's greatest fear is that you will be successful at what you're doing and that you will be more free than he has ever been. And I was, whoa, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of times we put limits on ourselves because it's like, well, what if I can be really successful and also be free and also be authentic to myself and also have fun? Like in our society, we have all these limits where it's like, no, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't. That's why most people don't do it. But it is a lot about commitment, consistency, just believing like the possibility is real. Like you actually can have it all. You can.
There was this weird black goo in the shower when I cleared like the drain. I was like, never seen that before. Is that like the black goo people talk about? And I just heard a tap at the wall. So weird. That's interesting. It's like clearing from my body or something, the heaviness.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do something that you find fun, like just really fun. And it might be like getting out of where the space where your parents are for a little bit too, even if it's like a day or two, because a lot of it is energy. And if you are exposed to energies that are not supportive, it can be very hard, or you start questioning yourself more because they're like in your aura, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, it's all possible.
Like anything is possible.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, it is.
I'm creating my own. It's called freestyle. Oh, the dance your dad was talking about.
I think I know what he's talking about. It's just a lot of hip movement.
That's what he's talking about.
Hips don't die. I guess it's just a walk step. It's like when they like stand up.
It's almost like it was a foursquare.
Yeah, so it's like a jingle move where they
And
go.
it's almost like a foursquare area that they do.
So it's like 1, 2, and like you're leaning into it.
Yeah. That's it.
And then you do a body wave.